Holiday Honey Bourbon Glazed Double Smoked Ham. Hey, welcome back to Smoking and Drinking. I'm Mike, and we are really close to Christmas time. So we're going to make a holiday ham. And this is going to be a double smoked holiday ham since most of the hams you buy at the grocery store are already smoked in hickory smoke. We're going to smoke it again. And basically we're just heating it like you would in the oven, but we're going to add a couple of things and make it special. We're going to add our Smokin and Drinkin sweet pork rub, and they usually come with a glaze, a honey and spice ham glaze. We're going to make our own glaze. It's going to be a honey bourbon glaze. So let's get started. We've got our Traeger preheating to 225, and we've got a pan of water in there to help keep this moist. So we shouldn't have to spritz it. We might spritz it with apple juice every 30 minutes or so just to make sure it doesn't dry out, but that pan of water should help keep it moist. So first we want to, it's a little damp, when you buy it, it's kind of got some juices to it. We're going to add a binder, just a little bit of olive oil to help hold the sweet pork rub. And this is a spiral smoked ham, a hickory smoked ham. So we're going to get into those spiral slices a little bit too. You get as much seasoning into the ham as we can. So we got our binder on there, our olive oil. You can use anything really. You can use duck fat spray, olive oil, pretty much mustard, like you do on your ribs. But I like olive oil, and I like to be liberal with my rub. Ooh, not quite that liberal. And like I said, we want to get into those slices. Maybe get some of that seasoning on as much of the ham as we can. Just slide that around so you can see that. I'm just lifting up and separating the slices. Looks like they only sliced the bottom half, which is okay. You can see I got my rub down into the inside the slices there. So that'll work okay. And we're going to smoke it right in this pan. Normally I'd put it right on the rack, but we're going to add the glaze a little later. So we want to contain all of that glaze and let it sit in its own juices. So we're going to leave it in that pan, and we're going to let this set for about 15 minutes. Kind of let the rub get moist and soak in a little bit. The Traeger's not quite preheated, so we'll let it set about 15 minutes till we get the Traeger up to 225, and then we'll get it on the Traeger and get it smoking. So we'll get this out to the Traeger, and we'll let it go for 2 to 3 hours until it gets up to at least 150, and then we'll go from there. We'll make the glaze about 30 minutes before it's done and start glazing it that last 30 minutes. So let's get this out on the Traeger, and we'll be back. Okay, still have a little while yet on the ham, probably another 45 minutes or so. So we're going to go ahead and start the glaze, our honey bourbon glaze. Pretty simple recipe. It's just It's just 1 cup of brown sugar, and a half a cup of Dijon mustard. Want to get it all. Half a cup of honey. And 2 tablespoons of butter. And then we want some apple cider vinegar. And that is a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Quarter cup. And then a 1/4 cup of bourbon of your choice. This is optional. If you don't like taste of bourbon, or you don't want bourbon in your mix, don't add the bourbon. I happen to like bourbon, and it's not enough there to really make a difference, but I mean, to really provide a lot of alcohol, I should say. It makes a difference. I can definitely taste it. But then you want to get this on the stove over medium heat. You want to simmer it until it thickens. So I'll get that on the stove and we'll get that simmering. All right, it is looking real nice. It's getting a nice bark on it and smells wonderful. We're just going to take our glaze that we've been simmering for about 15 minutes. Thought it might get a little thicker, but that's okay. We're just going to glaze it on, or brush it on liberally, and get good coverage. This is going to make a nice sticky glaze on it, I think. So we're just going to be very liberal about how we put this on. Get it coated real good. There's a fair amount of juice in the pan, which is good. Let it simmer in its own juice. The water, the extra pan with water in the Traeger helped keep the ham moist. I didn't have to spritz it with apple juice or pineapple juice or anything, so that was good. We're just going to keep on basting this and get good penetration. Work it into a few of the slices. Delicious. All right, so got our glaze on there. We're going to get it back out on the smoker, probably another 30 minutes or so, and then we'll be back. All right, our holiday honey bourbon glazed double smoked ham is done. Took a temperature test with the ThermoPro temp probe, and we're right at 152, so it's serving temperature. Obviously it was already cooked once, so we don't have to worry about it being undercooked, but looks beautiful. The glaze is tacked up real nice on it, so let's get a taste. I'm just gonna carve this little slice right here. I can't wait. That's pretty big. You have that. Okay. Oh wow. It's tender and juicy, and that glaze, the honey bourbon, have a little bit of that bourbon flavor in there. We smoked it with cherry pellets, and there's a good smoke flavor on it. It's just awesome. Turned out real well. I think the family's going to be excited to have this for Christmas dinner. Getting the whole, we're going to have a house full, so can't wait to serve this up. So You can see I have a glass of wine here. I made a cherry Merlot, but we fortified it. It's a port-style cherry Merlot. We added cognac to it and brought the alcohol content up to 18%. So I can't, let's have a taste of that. See how that pairs with this. It's going to pair nicely with this ham, I think. Oh yeah. Oh boy. The two go nicely together. That cherry always goes well with pork and ham, and that just blends real well. Check out that video. I'll put a link up here so you can get to that. See how we did that. So that does it. Thanks once again for tuning in to Smokin and Drinkin. Remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our videos. And as always, Prost!